before Def Comedy Jam, before all of that, before any of that, he was doing the right shit.
Def Jam was created around my style. So when you see comics back in the day doing Def Jam, trying to curse, trying to talk about sex, they didn't have it down right. So I think that I created that type of formula before it had even got started, because I was ahead of my time.
TK came off stage and said, Jamie, you'll never be able to follow me. I don't care what you do. And he's telling the truth.
Now that I'm settling down and my life is changing, I'm going to do film and TV, because the opportunity is right for me now. I mean, I'm intelligent too. You know, a lot of people don't know that. I went to college. I graduated from Arizona State, and I went to Cal State Northridge and got my master's.
The one and only TK Kirkland.
All right, here we go. TK Kirkland, welcome back.
It's always a pleasure, Vlad.
Always a pleasure and an honor.
Yes, sir.
And
Same
an
here.
honor.
Same here.
Listen to me, everybody. James and them was a lot. We party with Rick James.
Back Carlos and Charlie's a L.A. Reid and Babyface.
Yeah.
Wow.
Prince used to be up in the VIP section with the rolls with his leg crossed.
That little so bad.
Mike would come in.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you how cold Mike was.
This is my man, Baby. My uncle been putting me down since day one. Yo, tell him, babe. There you go, my man.
He was in there with all gangsters, saying crazy shit.
Destroying it, my nigga.
Crazy shit, though, man.
TK motherfucking Kirkland.
Hey, who raised you, man?
Real vibes, real shit, real stories. Come get a bite at the Lunch Meat Podcast.
Welcome back to the Lunch Meat Podcast, and today we have one of the greatest comedians to ever graze this earth. Step by step, took over the game. One of the best ever, Mr.TK Kirkland. Yes, sir. All right, so Mr. TK, we're gonna start like this. I like to talk to my guests about their childhood, how they grew up.
Okay.
So what was your childhood like growing up and to make you to the man who you are today?
My childhood was interesting because I dealt with a lot of tragedy early. My dad drowned when I was 14 years old, and by him drowning, for some reason, I think it just sparked just motivation in me, because I also was an athlete. So my father's death led me to playing football. Then I was good at football. Then football led me to track and field, who I met great coaches who can bring greatness out of you. So then the people you surround yourself with, the athletes that was on my teams, the guy with the Lee Browns, the Gregory Lockett's, those gentlemen who bring out competition in you, motivate you. Now, everybody in the world is different, and I realize this. So with me, I took everything about everyone and put it in me to this day. So everybody I've met from my childhood on, I take a little bit from them to put in me. So I've been an athlete, I've been a hustler, I've been a con artist, I've been a thief, I've been a kidnapper, I've been a drug dealer, I've been a great dad. I've had the ability to do everything well. Even when I was doing crime, I still had the ability to get out of crime. And because some people get into crime and they have to depend on other people to get them out or whatever. I was already successful, so I was able to get myself out of situations that led me to where I'm at today. Because if you haven't gone through anything, you can't teach anybody nothing.
True.
So I've gone through so much. So my childhood was based on a slightly failure, but I've always been able to turn a negative into a positive. And running is what got me out the hood. And then I ran track for Arizona State, got my master's degree at Cal State Northridge, and boom, the rest is history.
Okay, so what would you say, who's the majority of the person that you put inside yourself? You say you got personality from this person, that person. Who are you majority of?
If I had to say who I'm majority of, I would truly say, and it sounds corny, like I believe in the power of the universe.
Yes, sir.
So there's two sides to life to me. When it comes to religion, it's how your parents raised you and the truth. Now, let me explain to you what that means. We know about the Bible, but that was taught to us. So when you understand mankind, you know that man has manipulated the world. But because how we was raised, you can't deny that, because that's if it happened to you as a child, you can't get it out of your system. Then you have the universe. So everything I do, I speak it into existence because I understand the power of words. So what has led me here is just a man who is pushed by God, pushed by energy, pushed by determination, and plus it's in my DNA. Like some things are just in your DNA. Some people can run faster than others because it's in their DNA. So the ability for me to win is in my DNA.
Okay. So you said you think no one can unlearn nothing at all? You think so though? Like
well, you can forget things.
Okay.
But if you instill religion as a child, and you know that it's like, you know, people from my age group, if you can't say you don't believe in God, even though you can, if you was raised that way, it's impossible. Even though you could say I don't believe in white Jesus.
True. I was about to say.
Right? You could say I don't believe in white Jesus, but you know somebody put all this together. So that's where faith comes in and knowledge. Because I watch a lot of documentaries on the Discovery Channel about the universe. And when you look at that, you see how the stars and the galaxies combined and these explosions happen to create all these different planets and the moons and asteroids and all this kind of stuff. Like to this day, people don't even know how water got on Earth, and it got on Earth through asteroids. When Earth was developed, asteroids was hitting the universe, and that's how water got into our oceans. It's deep.
It's very deep.
Yeah, when you get a chance, Google it. It's like, hey, how did water? Google it. How did water get here? You're gonna be blown away.
So how water got here, right? How you think seeds got here? You think seeds was already here too?
I think
to make trees and plants and stuff.
Yeah, I think all that probably was here, but God, when He put it together, it's cold, brother. Like this concept is unreal. You know, I mean, think about it. We got an Earth that you can't see what it's turning on.
You don't think it's gravity?
No, I'm saying it ain't no stick.
Ain't nobody steering.
Ain't no stick. You can't see the stick. This thing rotates around the sun.
So it's like a candy apple.
Yeah, yo, the Earth rotates around the sun. We are spinning, and we get, that ain't a miracle. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Okay.
That's deep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's deep. I don't want to get, sophisticated.
Real scientific.
Yeah.
So you ran track, right?
Right.
So your favorite moments in track, you ran against someone that was really, really great for the world? Michael Johnson.
No, I ran with Carl Lewis.
And
Ronaldo Skeets Nehemiah.
Gotcha.
Out of New Jersey.
Okay, so what was that moment like at your time period?
Well, we ran every weekend. We see each other every weekend. It's just that in that era in New Jersey had the best track stars in the world. High school. We was high school kids and was the best in the world. I don't know what it was. I don't know what our parents did at that time, but we was running fools, bro.
Man.
Yeah, New Jersey between 1972 and 1979. Unreal.
So what was your favorite events?
My favorite event was everything from the 100 dash to the 2 mile. I did everything good.
So you was a sprinter. I was a sprinter.
I was a sprinter. But I could do it all. Like I ran hurdles. I was on a hurdle relay. I was on the 800, the 1600 meter relay. I was on the 80-yard relay. I was on all that. So
the 80-yard relay.
Yeah, like some of the 4 men, 200 yards. Yeah, I did that too. From second leg to anchor.
Okay.
I did all that.
What was your favorite leg to run? Was it the last? Was it too much pressure for the first or the
I
last?
did them all. So, and everything prepared me for college. So when I was in high school, I ran the second leg and I ran anchor from time to time. But when I became a senior, because I had more experience than everybody else on my team at that time, my coach will put me second leg because that's where all the action is.
Yes, sir.
So that's what, so I won the Melrose games at Madison Square Garden back in the day. Good thing.
And what's the pin relays? Was that?
Yeah, pin relays up in New Jersey. It's sad though to see how the world has truly changed. Because back then, it would be 200,000 deep to come to the pin relays, and now you might get 5,000-6,000 people. Because back in the '70s, the thing would be packed to the tilt.
Man, high rising.
Yeah, I mean the whole stadium would be packed with track. It was unreal. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what they call because you were running the trials early in the day, and if you made it to the finals, it was called the Championship of America at 4 o'clock, and that thing was unreal. So all those things allowed me to be who I am on stage today. Because it prepared me for confidence, it prepared for me how to rise to the occasion. It teaches you how to prepare. So track and football did all that for me.
Okay, cool. So your journey in the rap game. NWA, Cash Money,
right?
Rough Riders.
Yes, sir.
If you had to go back to one of those three and redo the whole tour again,
right?
What would it be?
All three.
And why?
No, all of shows.
All three?
Yeah, all those tours had a different element. See, because when we started NWA, it was the first time, so we didn't know what we was expecting. NWA, that was the first rap concert ever. So the promoters was experiencing, the venues was experiencing, and even though gangster rap wasn't really that powerful, then you had like a gangster comedian, me, because I was talking shit. So I got banned, believe it or not, on tour with NWA. They thought I was worse than NWA. They banned me in 3 cities because of the shit that I was talking about. Then, from Def Jam, the world started changing, and in 89, 90, 91, 92, people started accepting freedom of speech and talking shit. So by the time you get to the Cash Money and the Rough Riders, it's wide open because NWA had paved the way for them to do whatever they wanted to do. And so with the Rough Riders and Cash Money, what was great about that, because I was in jail, right? I was doing 30 days in Rikers Island. So I'm hearing on the radio every day about this concert that I'm on. But my next court date is maybe a week before the tour starts.
Man.
And I'm praying that that judge is gonna let me out because she was mad at me. Because I had almost took a plea deal and I took the deal off the table and brought in some other attorneys, and she was pissed. So she reprimanded me to Rikers Island. So all that time for 30 days, I'm hearing the radio, the Cash Money Millionaire Rough Rider Tour. You know, the DJ's talking, and I'm like, damn, I'm mad, you know, because I'm locked the fuck up. I'm in the tombs. And man, I got out right before a week later. I went from a one-man jail cell to 18,000 seater, touring the country. So all of them was just a great opportunity because I remember that like it was yesterday. That shit was crazy.
Man, so the first time you met Eazy-E, what was Eazy-E like as a person?
Eazy was one of the funniest, nicest guys you could ever meet, yo. Like me and him was real cool, and a lot of people didn't understand. Well, I wish people would have understood. Because before he died, we was getting ready to start Ruthless Comedy. Okay. Ruthless Comedy was going to be our Def Jam. It was going to be, and Eazy didn't mind spending money. And I was going to spearhead this. So I was ready. So with the Cash 20 million, I mean, the Ruthless Comedy. So when he died, that just space. I took that idea and I was trying to run it past everybody. So even when I hooked up with 50 Cent, we got real close, and we was calling it the G's of comedy. But 50 had a manager named Chris Lighty. Okay. Who was just he was a different kind of guy. And they didn't see what I saw. See, I knew that if we'd have got 50 to get behind this G's of comedy when he was on fire,
right,
we would have took off. But Chris Lighty made us wait a long time, like a year. So when we got ready to sign a deal with William Morris, I didn't want to do it anymore because I had got fed up and waiting. So that taught me how to go independent, to start doing things on your own because nobody's going to move the way you want to move. So that deal never happened.
Okay.
Yeah, that deal never happened.
So your point in Jesus comedy, like, what was the whole concept? Did you had
the Jesus comedy was going to be the gangsters of comedy.
Gotcha.
It was going to be dudes that I felt had that swag like gangster rap. You know, it was going to be a comedian like Doodoo Brown. I was going to use a comedian named Capone out of New York City, and it was going to be on fire. I knew it was, and I would have these talks with them about this. And that's another thing in entertainment, and I teach people to stay quiet until you get ready to make it happen. Because in this business, you can have $1 million check, right? And the deal still may not go through. You can have the deal and everything. And something happens somewhere down the line that the company or people, somebody could get fired, and that other boss may not like that. They'll tell you keep the money, but the deal sizzled, you know? So the 90s taught me how to go into business for myself. So you don't have to call this person to get to that person, because these people control your destiny. Somebody don't like you, somebody hates you, you'll never get to where you gotta go. But if you run your own thing, you ain't gotta answer to nobody. You make your phone call when you wanna make your phone call. You put out your product, your project when you wanna put it out. It's priceless to live like that. Priceless. People wanna sign deals all day. They wanna get a record label or be on Netflix, but someone controls you. And I tell people, even back in the day with the Dave Chappelle's, the Nick Cannons, and you think that Dave Chappelle's on top of the world, hey, Dave Chappelle, but Comedy Central pimped him because he can't get royalties off the Dave Chappelle show.
Even when Netflix was going on around with Netflix, right?
You know, he had to say, they took it off. You know, he said something in Netflix and HBO got rid of the show because of what he requests. They didn't have to do that, but he got pimped. Nick Cannon, you know, all these years we thinking he owned Wild 'N Out.
And also too.
And them motherfuckers snatched it from him. He didn't own it. I own my shit all day.
Gangster conversations.
Yep, I got my albums, and you know, it may not be on the levels of the Netflix deals or whatever, but I do things quietly, you know, because I have a farmer's mentality. And I tell people farmer's mentality is, a lot of people don't know that farmers are millionaires, and they just low key. You see them, you just see them. That's the way I like to move, you know. You see me, you just don't know, and I like it that way.
Okay, so starting comedy, right? What would you say your very first start? Who give you your very first start in comedy on the stage side?
Okay.
And what was your blueprint to now that got you very, very successful?
The blueprint was determination from NWA for sure. I didn't come up in the comedy world. I came up in the rap world. See, I made most of my money in the rap game. Before I really, even though I was a comedian, I was working with all the rappers. So if you go back, you see me hear me on albums like AMG, you hear me on Second to None, you hear me on Luke's album, you hear me on the Loonies album, JT Money, all these albums, you know, doing writing and music. So I was doing comedy, but I wasn't in the comedy world just yet. And I was working, but once the rap game, I started getting a little bit older, the rap game, I really got into management, and I took people under my wing like D.L. Hughley, Mike Epps, Godfrey Sandra Bullock, Anthony Michael Hall, John Lucasamo. All these people came up under my wing, along with two other gentlemen named David Klingman and Tommy Chestro, God bless him, he just passed away. And I was just a street dude who was still doing great business, but to some people, because I had a strong personality, my strong personality intimidated most people, because I consider most men to be weak. Most men are intimidated by a strong man. So, but mostly the weak men were in power at that time. So if someone didn't like you, or they thought the girl liked you, you wasn't really gonna get your shot, right? So I just applied and took all that, and dealing with, wow, back in the day, I just knew everybody.
Yeah.
From Tina Marie was good friends with me. Keith Sweat was good friends, and that's how I met Easy, because I was the opening act for Keith Sweat and Tina Marie, and I met Easy, and then the rap game just took off for me from there.
Okay.
And everybody in the rap world, from T.I. to Ludacris. I toured with Ludacris for a while as well. I need to start giving those guys a lot more love, because Luda took me on tour too, and he did something that I'll never forget. As we was touring one day, we was in Las Vegas, Nevada, and normally you get your money right when you get there. And I couldn't find the promoter who was putting the show together. So by the time Luda came, I still hadn't got my money. So I told Luda that I couldn't find the promoter and not to go on. And he didn't go on stage till I got my money. He made him wait like about 30, 40 minutes.
Man, hold up the whole concert.
Whole concert, yeah. And this is when MTV would follow the rappers. It was all on MTV and everything. It was a great moment. Yeah, it was cool.
Okay. So, what you think about the relationship game today? Marriages, dating. I know you're big on giving advice and topics for those things, and your personal opinions.
Yeah.
Today's world dating.
I think it's all fucked up. I think everybody has different expectations. I think that people, if they are married, they need to have a little religion in them to help them get past certain things, because we all are human. Have your money right, and if your money's not right, have a good balance between man and woman, that everybody know their roles. Nobody's expecting something that they can't really do. And be clean. You know, relationships is levels. You know, you can marry someone, but are they dirty? You know, you can marry someone, but do they keep the house clean? Everybody take care of themselves. It's just not one thing. It's a combination of all things. Can you communicate with each other when things go wrong? Can a man be honest with himself? You know, and what I mean by that is, you marry a woman, will you still cheat? Because once you cheat, it's a wrap. And same thing for the female. Female could be married and cheat as well. See, I know who I am, that's why I'm not married. I know I'm cheating. You know, I just like different women. So I don't put myself in a position to marry someone and lie to them and to pretend I'm gonna be faithful to you for the rest of my life, when I know I really like dating different women, you know, because I've been having sex my whole life and I'm really good at what I do, you know. So, and I still get women from years ago who used to be married, could know how good the loving was, that when they break up, they call back for a redo, you know, and I really like being there for them. You know, I like being that guy who, I'm on the shelf, you know, I'm a great dude, and when that don't work out, you like, TK? And I already know what it is. You ain't even gotta say nothing. Like, TK, I'm like, okay, you ready? I'm ready. So bam, I'm there, you know? Yes, sir. And that's what keeps me young and strong.
Oh man.
And I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
And I'm telling the truth. I really feel that way.
Okay, that's good, man. So, any final thoughts or words of wisdom to the future generation, the next generation of hip hop, entertainment, business, media, and comedy?
And what I like what's going on in the rap game is, first I didn't like mumble rapping. It was confusing to me until I heard this young man named Lil Baby. And when I heard Lil Baby, I said, whoa, I don't know what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't understand nothing he's saying. But the rhythm that he got with and the production is top notch. And all the songs are banging. And you can hear some messages in the song, but that dude is off the chain. His album is gold. And I believe it or not, I play it all the time. So I'm still playing Nipsey from 2 years ago because I love his album.
Amazing.
Victory Lap is cold. But Lil Baby, hands down, is the coldest dude on the block to me. He the coldest dude on the block. His shit is fire. So I, shout out to him. And to the, I like what the comedians are doing in the new world, what we call, I guess, internet comics.
Yes, sir.
Because in the world you have transition. The way came up in the business, we never saw this coming, that type of style, not the style, that platform where you can go do videos and become famous or whatever, right? And to see what they've done with it and made money is awesome. My message to any comic that's from the internet era is that you might have the fans now, but the goal is to get your talent to match your crowd. Because what happens with most of the comedians is they have the crowd, but the audience leaves with no substance. It was just, you came there to be silly and you wasn't as funny as they thought you were as a true comic. Because to be a true comic, you really gotta be funny for over an hour. And do you know how to react with the audience? Do you know how to dress for different occasions? Do you know how to use profanity? Take out profanity. Can you just be a show and just use personality? Can you adjust to the occasion, so to speak? A lot of people can't do that, so it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, but that's what I would suggest, that I would want comics to learn how to do all of that. That's important.
Okay, very good, man. And what's some things that you live by today? Some words every time you wake up every morning? What do you say to yourself to get your day started?
Well, I wake up no matter what time I go to bed. I get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Again, it's in your DNA. And what I mean by that, I'm just inspired by life to be 60 years old. I'm inspired I just love life and I love what I've accomplished. And I get up and I just go. And I work out, I go swimming, I ride my bike. I do more before 9 o'clock than most people do all day. And again, that's in my DNA. But I choose to be happy because I don't allow a lot of BS into my life. I don't like negative conversation. I don't talk to people from 5 in the morning to 12. I'm not picking up my phone unless I really have to. Because people, their world might have negativity in it. So when they talk to you, they drop that information up to you. I don't allow it in my life. I don't want to talk to you. And a lot of people do have crazy situations, and a lot of men and women do put themselves in bad situations. And I avoid it at all costs.
Okay.
I don't give up, unless it's my children. But anybody else, and I'm mean with it. I don't want to hear that shit. I'll tell them in a minute. I don't want to hear it. Yeah. And sometimes they're like, oh my God. I'm like, yep, don't want motherfucker hear it. So that's how I live my life.
Okay. And your book coming out soon, where you're
I've
working
been working on this
it.
damn book for 3 damn years. And we got it started.
Okay.
What happened in this situation, I was depending on Charlemagne. It's because we had something going on. But Charlemagne made me realize that after all this time, I'm waiting on someone to do something for me. And I have to stop that. So I'm gonna put the book out myself. I'm not gonna wait on him. I'm gonna do what everything else I did in my life, I did it on my own. And to the fans who listen to I'm sorry that I made you wait.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying to myself, I'm sorry that I made him wait because I should have been put it out. But Charlemagne, I got caught up in whatever it is that we have. And I realized one day, yo, don't wait on him. That is a bad thing. Just don't wait on him. Do what you've worked so hard to become. And everything I've done, from my Amazon specials to dropping my comedy albums, I did on my own. I'm gonna do the same thing with my book.
Okay, that's good, man. And I appreciate you for coming on the show.
Yes.
Work hard a year. Like I told you 2 years ago when I was living in Dubai, deployed.
Right.
Hit you up. You called me back.
And do you see that, ladies and gentlemen? This brother was hitting me for 2 years from Dubai. I remember that comment, and I just it just hit me today. What you just said. I didn't know you was the dude from Dubai.
Yeah, I was that guy.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
That's how impressive this is. And that's what I mean by having your mind set on something and making it happen. And you told me years ago how this was gonna go down. That's awesome, yo.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
I like that, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's all right.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
That's all right. I remember that. And then I was trying to help you find a job. What was you trying to
the Nike contract.
Right,
so
right.
I was me and one other guy was gonna start a store in Charlotte selling Nike. So we had a contract ready and everything, but everybody didn't come aligned with the people didn't come aligned.
Right.
So we just decided to do a separate thing. He was like, you know what? I opened my own boutique. You open up your podcast. When people come in to the store, if you want to do a talk show right there in the store, they can come to your side.
Right.
And they can also shop too as well.
Right.
So we know a lot of people in Charlotte, artists and everything, and business owners. They can come shop, do an episode, promote their product and stuff.
Right.
And leave. So that was the goal. But he'll say, you know what? Still do you. And his clothing line was still coming out, which is this.
Yes.
In Charlotte, North Carolina, for sure.
That's awesome, yo. Yo, I'm proud of you,
Yes,
dog.
sir.
That's all right. Yeah, that's all right.
All right, so appreciate you, man.
Yes, and make sure you listen to the TK Kirkland podcast every
sir.
Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Follow this brother. I know he brought me on the show, but it's really about his determination to win in life, and that's what you have to be successful. Shout out to his wife. Shout out to the young man who's R&B singer, who's the cameraman today, and we appreciate him as well.
Yes, sir.
TK Kirkland in the building. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Oh man, that was great, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.